Good morning. It is 7:06. I'm gotta leave here by 7:45 to be able to get at work at 7:55. Okay, it's now 5:53. I'm at the in-town house here, and I got off of work at around 4:20, something like that. I spent like an hour and a half trying to set up the TV for one of my coworkers. The remote wasn't working. There's a new gal who came in for housekeeping today. It's her first day, and she looks super young, like a kid, like 14, 15. Apparently she's 18. And I heard from someone else commenting, they talked to her and da 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 da. She has a child. And bro, I'm just thinking, if I had a kid, I'm 22, okay? If I had a kid looking at my life right now, me having a child, it's over. Everything, God, it's over. It's God, take me now. It's over. Just bro, you're 18, maybe she's closer to 19, I don't know, but you're having a kid? I realize that there are different people in different life circumstances who, you've known this person for a long period of time, you cross the legal limitation of what you need to be able to get married. Those individuals get married, and then they decide to have a kid. Even then, smart idea. I don't know about in today's current society at the pace that things move, whether it's slower or faster in certain aspects or other aspects than whatever 50 years ago. But yeah, people fine 50 years ago, 100 years ago had kids at 17, 16 all the time. But dude, I'm just thinking about my life. If I was 18 and had a kid, I'm not sure why in my mind I just think it's so over. Maybe it's the fact that I believe that if I had a child, I would have to give up the risks that I believe are necessary to achieve what I want to achieve, and I would have to choose stability and security to be able to provide the child, and in turn I would have to give up those risks that I believe are necessary to actually achieve what I want to achieve. I don't know. But in my mind, it's unimaginable having a child at this point in my life. Also, I think it comes with, the fact that there's no one that I would have in mind to raise that child with. I think that may affect things somewhat. But, bro, yeah. I don't think the dad's in the picture, which is unfortunate. And it's funny how in our society it's become so prevalent that, like, all you say is, it's unfortunate. Whereas, like, that's really sad. And we're not supposed to say it's really sad because then that's somehow diminishing the sacrifice and the value of the mother. Saying it's really sad is not devaluing the mom, it's putting judgment and responsibility on the father. But then again, I'm thinking, like, if I was in that position, like if I was some 18, 19-year-old guy and I had, it's dumb to say, gotten yourself into something that you didn't know what you were getting into. But, like, come on. You know what you're getting into when you engage in that kind of activity. But nevertheless, if I was some 18, 19-year-old guy and, if I was a person who drank or something and there was a party or this, that, the other, and then you have a kid, like, we can look and cast judgment and say, oh my goodness, XYZ person abandoning their child, not being a good father. But I'm thinking, like, me, if I'm putting myself in that dude's shoes, the mom can't. They can put the child up for adoption, but the mom can't just run away and it all goes away. So, in a certain sense, their decision to raise the child, now with abortion obviously is different, but in a certain sense, their decision to raise the child isn't all of their own volition. Like, it's still commendable, but they had a little bit less say in it. But the father, the temptation, dude, to just change your phone number, run away, I have to imagine that temptation is is really great, because you have to deal with something that you never thought you would have to. It's not deal with something. It's the life of a human being, right? So you need to keep that in context. But you're taking on responsibility that you weren't expecting you were going to have to take on. I wonder how I will change if I ever become a father. In a certain sense, there was a time when I was younger where there were many things that I thought, okay, when I become a parent in XYZ, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that. And then there was a period of time where it was like, if I change any variables, my child can't be me. So I have to, regardless of whether I believe that it's the technically correct technique in all circumstances, I have to do exactly what my parents did, so therefore I can make a carbon copy of myself, because that I know how to deal with. If my child was some other different person, I wouldn't know how to comprehend that. But now, I don't think you can make a carbon copy of yourself. Not that I ever thought you could, but it's like part of yourself that admits, oh, I'm not going to make a carbon copy. But then, like, somewhere in your subconscious, you're thinking, but the kid's going to be like me. I suppose if a person believes in nurture over nature, becoming a parent is much more of a, I'm not going to say enticing endeavor, but an acceptable life choice. Not acceptable. A life choice that a person can make peace with. But if nature is truly over nurture, there are 999 out of 1,000 people are just 999 out of 1,000 people I would want to minimize my interaction with as much as, well, I'm not even going to say that. I would be crushed if my child turned out like 999 out of 1,000 people. Let's say that. I would be crushed. And if nature is truly over nurture, then you're really rolling the dice on that one. Now, the mindset, if my child was like 999 out of 1,000, I would be crushed. Probably there's some immaturity in that. It's probably not particularly reasonable or, quote, wise. There's probably some ego in that statement. It is the thought that comes to mind, though. It's an honest thought that comes to mind. It's interesting. I give all the credit for anything that is good or positive about me. That's all my parents. Nothing to do with me. And I take 100% responsibility. Like, anything that is a failure or a fault or a flaw of mine, that's all on me. That's nothing with my parents. I don't know what happened, how the genetics happened, what circumstances I happen to be in with other people, but any flaws that I have are on me. So if I really believe that, and I believe that I have the ability to make the necessary decisions and sacrifices to mold my child, then it shouldn't be as scary of a concept or an idea of having a kid. We'll see. If I ever have one, I wonder how much I'll change. I'm sure I'll change a lot, just like with anything. Like, as you learn, you change. It's just, unless you don't, and then that's probably not a good sign. Yeah. Anyway, that was just wild to me. I'm just grateful for the freedom I have in this current stage of life and the risks that I'm able to take in this current stage of life. And when those are gone and I have other blessings in my life, I should just be grateful for those in that time, rather than reminiscing and like missing the freedom and the possibility for risk that I once had. Bro, gratefulness. Like, people tell you that being consciously grateful will change your life, and no one believes them because they don't actually spend a large amount of time trying to be consciously grateful about everything for every day. And it is exhausting. But let me tell you, going out of your way in every circumstance for every single thing in your life, going out of your way to be grateful, it changes everything. Being grateful is like a superpower. And people don't want to hear that because it's not some pressure point on your arm, meditation you do for 2 minutes that gives you the power level over 9,000 to go make $1 billion, and then you just need to take one little supplement and then just do your morning 20 push-ups, wake up at 5 a.m., and then you can have all the energy you could ever possibly need and all the motivation you could ever possibly need to become a billionaire. People don't want to hear that gratefulness changes everything. But bro, when I tell you that conscious gratefulness on a moment by moment basis, it's like meth. The amount of energy it gives you. Because when every single thing that comes to you, you feel like you didn't deserve, but you're still happy for it, and you feel like everything is always going your way, then you just want to do more output because you believe that whatever output you put out is going to go your way one way or another. Because whatever circumstances come of it, you are able to look at it from the perspective of, I am happy because this is good for me, because I'm choosing to be grateful for it. And it changes everything. Like, bro, yeah. And I'm not good at practicing it. Like, this is coming from a person who's bad at being grateful, okay? Like, I'm so bad at it, and I've been this successful in doing it, and I'm already able to tell you what a game changer being consciously grateful is. Yeah. Just gratitude. It's OP. It's overpowered. Okay, I got home a while back. Ended up actually being way more tired, I think, than I thought I was. Ended up taking a nap. Then I got up, I ate something here, and I think I'm just gonna go back to sleep now. I watched some more videos on drop shipping. I probably could have gotten up to the church and done more work. I don't think I managed my time the best I could have, but it just goes to show. I think lesson for today is momentum. Like, if you're slowing down before you're deciding you're supposed to slow down for the day, momentum. That's in all of life too, though. And not just like on a day-to-day basis, but that compounds like weekly, monthly, yearly. Okay, good night.